Good morning. Today is Thursday, April 7th, and it is grade day. Mr. Despin's Sports Medicine 2 class will meet in Miss McGarvin's classroom, Streeter 225, today. Attention all National Honor Society members and incoming inductees. The ceremony rehearsal has been rescheduled from Friday afternoon to Sunday at 1:45 p.m. Check your SEJ Labs email for additional information about Sunday's ceremony and see Mrs. Reed in guidance with any questions. Attention international students. Any student wanting to take the May 14th TOEFL must register by April 14th. Email Mrs. McCaffrey at mmccaffrey@stjlabs.com or stop by the guidance office to register. Space is limited. Priority will be given to juniors. Writer's Block will meet this afternoon after school in Ranger 110. Cookies will be provided. Please join with some like-minded writers to work on an online prompt and to share your ideas. New members are always welcome. Science Fair Interest Meeting, Monday, April 11th in Streeter 241. Interested in maybe even winning recognition and prizes floating your boat in the pool of wonder? Then join us at Science Fair to learn about how to develop and conduct a research plan on Monday, April 11th. Meet in Streeter 241 with Mr. Eckel from 3:30 to 4:30. Contact Mr. Eckel with interest and questions. Thank you to all the juniors who picked up application for the Boys and Girls State programs. If you have not yet picked up an application, there is still time. The deadline to submit the applications is Tuesday, April 12th, for girls, and Tuesday, May 10th for boys. Please return completed applications to Mr. Mantius in Ranger 211. It's National Poetry Month, and St. Johnsbury is celebrating in usual style through Poem Town. Check out the broadsides hanging in shops on Main Street, Eastern Avenue, and Railroad Street, many of which features poems by students in the creative writing classes. Happy poetry crawling. Ever wondered what treasures are stored in the Academy's archives? Stop by today in the basement of the library across from the Colwell Center to check out some artifacts from the Academy's past with the History Club. See you at 3:30 on Monday in the archives. If you already know how to knit or if you've always wanted to learn, come join us for Knitting Club after school today in Severance 16. We have all the yarn, needles, and expertise you need to start a new project or finish an old one. Is the way your brain works and interacts with your intentions in your body something you want to explore? Do you want to dive into how brain differences like ADHD or PTSD or diseases like Parkinson's or ALS develop and progress? Are you interested in winning a $500 prize next February based on your learning about neuronomy? The Brain Bee team, Can't Beat This, will begin the learning journey Tuesday, April 12th. Join us in Streeter 241. Contact Mr. Eckel with questions and interest. Thursday, April 14th from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m., representatives of the Northeast Kingdom Northern Vermont University Science Fair will visit campus to evaluate and score science fair projects prepared by Hilltoppers. Everyone is invited to stop by the Colby Conference Room Thursday, April 14th between 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. to be part of the celebration of the excellent science work by members of our great community of learners and leaders. The Debate and Discussion Club will meet in the Mayo Center today after school to join the screening and discussion of the documentary Putin's Road to War. Please join us. Happy birthday today to Cameron Bunnell, Harper Rutledge, Laura Ponerin, and Mark Thompson. A special happy birthday today to Miss Laverty. Happy birthday. Today we have girls JV and varsity ultimate versus CVU at 4. Good luck and have a great day.
Thank you, Ashley. Good morning, all. Dr. Howell yesterday spoke about the idea of hope. I have a few ideas that I wanted to share. I've always been kind of pretty good at compartmentalizing my thoughts and my to-do list, whether it be at home or at work or with my kids' lives, my own hopes and fears. We all have those moments in our lives where we need to do things to kind of make things happen, and we're not always sure how they get done, but a couple moments of hope that were really pretty essential, at least from my lens. And the first is for all of those who participated and went to the unified basketball game the other day. I can't tell you the amount of joy that brought as an audience member to watch the smiles and the performances of the athletes in that moment and the rallying of the community coming together to to support that. And so we thank you to all of you on the unified team, and we look forward to more to come. But the picture in the paper certainly gives a lot of hope with the smile of Ben in particular, right? A big smile going on. Yesterday was also one of those days for me that gives me hope about people, where we needed to just do and act, even though what we thought would be a perfect plan wasn't so perfect. So first, I want to thank the faculty, staff, and students for your patience, for your compliance, for your willingness to act when things seemed a little bit out of kilter. Our fire drills yesterday, just so you know, intentionally we placed barriers so that you would need to act and do something a little bit out of routine, because sometimes in that case we have to be out of routine and be able to make a shift. And those who know me well enough know me that I always say something like, get comfortable being uncomfortable. So when we put an obstacle in your way, you're able to navigate differently and get out of the building without a hitch. At least until we hit Streeter. In Streeter Hall, much the same. The evacuation route was changed and everybody was out of the front of the building, and seemingly everything was going as planned until the alarms wouldn't stop. And then we weren't allowed to go back in, and then we had a whole mass of people just enjoying the beautiful sunny day that we were having. And we wanted to make sure that we could get back to you and get the safety plan in place. But what I was amazed by and always hopeful about was people's just ability to be and stay calm and not panic, and trust the fact that we were going to get it figured out, and the patience that was shown by those that had to act so quickly in their efforts to make the plan move forward without a hitch, were able to make that happen. So I just really wanted to say thank you for making that happen. And secondly, I just want to talk about the idea of dreams and hope. And on a very personal level, I learned this summer that hope actually floats. I know it might sound crazy and maybe even stupid, but bear with me as I kind of share the story. So I remember sitting in my living room with my daughter and daughter Josie and her best friend Delaney last winter, and they were talking about a little bit how frustrated they were by COVID, how it had slowed down their lives and their plans. Both of them were from the class of 2020, and they didn't really get a chance to have the fully in-person graduation or prom that many things that we can't wait to celebrate with this senior class coming up. So they were lamenting a little bit about things that they hadn't been able to do, and focusing on maybe what they couldn't as opposed to the chances that they could take and make the moment something to be remembered. And so I did what, any parent might do in the moment. I said, okay, well, maybe I'm going to challenge you to think differently about this. And what if you looked at this as some kind of gift, right? And so I got the typical eye roll from teenagers to their parents when trying to make a good situation better, or a not so good situation from their lens at least tolerable. But I asked them what chances would they take? What memories would they make together if they were able to get out of kind of the negative self-talk about what was going on? And so they started to think about their post-high school bucket list plans. And one of the things they talked about is that they both have a desire to travel and they want to see the world. They want to go to Nashville because both are huge country music fans. They want to travel abroad together, maybe backpacking through places in Europe. They want to take a road trip to Montana and other states that they haven't been to. And so as the list began to build, their energy and their enthusiasm began to grow. And then they came up with the idea that it would be a great idea to go skydiving. And so now, as any parent, the thought of your child jumping out of a perfectly good airplane and free-falling 10,000 feet within the air, there's nothing else to guide you except for that parachute and the person that's attached to your back saying that it's going to be okay and we'll make it down. It's actually kind of terrifying to think about and rationalize in your logical parent mind. But nevertheless, they were on the sites and they were researching, and I was kind of the one that put this into motion for this bucket list. And so they started reading about and thinking about their plan to make this jump together. So I did, what any rational parent would do and said, no or now. let's set a date. Let's get committed to going. Let's pay the deposit. Let's think about, otherwise we're just going to sit here and talk about it, and you're never actually going to take the leap of faith, thinking it was going to have like the counter effect to their decision. And they both looked at me like I wasn't right, and never did I think they were going to say, let's go for it. Let's do it. So to this day, I have no idea what prompted me to give them that nudge to make it happen. And then I said, well, you might as well sign me up too, as if to say, well, if you're going to commit, then I'm going to be all in and we're going to do this together. So I remember telling Miss Angel my plans, and she laughed at me, and she said that she knew that I was far more sensible, and reminded me that I needed to be the far more sensible person and be the rational parent for my child. And for those of you who have been on ropes courses with myself or Miss Gary or Miss Angel, we're the ones that are kind of dangling and screaming and laughing and asking ourselves why we're doing these things, because we're not really big risk takers, all petrified of heights. But for me, this just seemed the right thing in the moment in my life. And so in the jump training, they tell you that you're going to jump on 3, like 1, 2, and then jump on 3. And I remember sitting in the plane, and my instructor in the moment, both my daughter and Delaney, I was getting ready to wave them goodbye because I was going to jump first. And we went 1 and 2, and off we went. There was no 3 about it, and I don't know if they just trick you into that or if it was just my particular guy, but knew that I was very nervous about this. But we never found out what happened to 3. We just did the free fall. And the free fall itself and the adrenaline rush was a rush of a lifetime. Looking at the earth below me coming closer and closer into my view, I remember looking up and trying to see the girls jumping out behind me. And once the parachute opened, though, we began to float. And that's where I began to see that hope actually floats. Because I just remember being at a really solid sense of peace. My heart just being full, knowing that they took a risk and that I was able to take a risk with them. Taking in the beauty of the surroundings and literally floating through the air and promising myself in that moment that each day forward would be a gift, an opportunity, a chance at growth, a chance at risk, a chance at love. And if life has taught us nothing else in the last 2 years, and perhaps even more in the last couple of weeks, let's not wait. Let's not wait to do the things that we've always hoped to do. Let's not wait to do the things that we have always wanted to do. Let's not wait to tell those people what our dreams are, what our fears are, what our hopes are, what our desires are, and live each and every day as if it were a gift, and do all that you can until you can't. I hope that message resonates with you. I'm not advocating that anybody do any kind of jumping out of airplanes. That was their dream, their risk, and they inspired me to take that risk with them. And so we can always learn so much from the young people who surround us and the courage and the life that they live. And for me, I just thought that was a moment to share with you about hope. I also have a group here that's going to talk to us about an opportunity tomorrow for us to embrace together. And so I want to welcome some members of the GSU to the stage to join us this morning. Come on up.
Hello, I'm Amora, and then this is Maddie and Vicky. On April 8th, some of us will be participating in the Day of Silence. The Day of Silence is a day where we take a vow of silence in support of the LGBTQ community. The silence represents the silencing of the LGBTQ people. And according to Gleason's School Climate Survey, over 4 in 5 of the LGBTQ students surveyed didn't see positive representation of the LGBTQ people or issues in their school curriculum. The day is also used to raise awareness about bullying and discrimination that LGBTQ people face all the time. According to the same school climate survey, nearly 9 in 10 LGBTQ students experience harassment or assault, and almost 1/3 of the LGBTQ students miss school because they feel unsafe or uncomfortable.
The Day of Silence started as a class project in 19 96 by students at the University of Virginia. Over 150 students participated. The following year, they took their efforts national, resulting in students from nearly 100 schools participating. Now, almost 10,000 schools participate in the Day of Silence. I am participating in the Day of Silence because I'm not personally bullied for my sexuality, but I have heard the stories of people who are, and it causes them not to feel safe in their school.
We'd like to invite LGBTQ people and allies to participate. If you'd like to join us, come to Colby 207 before chapel tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Important message for all of us to hear, and we will see you tomorrow morning before chapel. To all, have a great day. We'll see you soon.